Respect is the foundation of any meaningful relationship, whether it's between friends, partners, colleagues, or even strangers. When it comes to women, respect isn't just about treating them kindly. It's about understanding that they are individuals with their own choices, dreams, and decisions. One of the biggest mistakes we can make is disregarding or disrespecting a woman's choices, whether in relationships, careers, or personal lives. You see, in films, love stories often revolve around the hero chasing the heroine relentlessly, believing that persistence is the key to winning her heart. But let's step away from the silver screen for a moment and talk about real life. If a woman says no, it means no. Not maybe, not try harder, just no. And that should be enough. Respecting her choices means understanding that she has the right to decide what she wants just like you do. Think about it. A woman has the same dreams, ambitions, and right to happiness as any man. She may choose to focus on her career, travel the world, or even decide that marriage or relationships aren't for her at the moment. That is her decision to make. It doesn't mean she is wrong or that she will change her mind if you pressure her enough. Real strength lies in accepting her choices and supporting them, not in trying to mold them according to your expectations. Disrespecting a woman's choices can take many forms, some obvious, others more subtle. It's not just about forcing her into something she doesn't want. Sometimes it's in the casual remarks, the unsolicited advice, or the pressure to conform to societal norms. How often do we hear people say, "You should settle down, you're getting older," as if a woman's worth is tied only to marriage? Or, "Why are you working so hard? Your husband will provide for you," as if her ambitions are secondary. These statements may seem harmless, but they undermine her autonomy. They suggest that her choices are not valid unless they align with what society expects of her. Another common mistake people make is assuming that a woman will change her mind if you just persist long enough. This mindset is problematic because it disregards her agency. If she rejects your proposal, respects her own space, or prioritizes her own goals, it is not a challenge for you to overcome. It is simply her exercising her right to choose. Love, friendship, and even professional relationships should be built on mutual respect, not on pressure or coercion. Imagine this. If you applied for a job and the company rejected you, would you keep showing up at their office every day, expecting them to change their decision? No, because you understand that their choice is final. Then why should a woman's choice be any different? Respecting a woman's decisions also means supporting them, even when they don't align with your own beliefs. Maybe your sister wants to pursue a career that you think is risky, or your daughter chooses a path different from the traditional one. Instead of doubting her, stand by her, encourage her. The world is already filled with people telling her what she should and shouldn't do. Don't be one of them. Be the person who believes in her, even when others don't. In relationships, respecting choices is even more crucial. A woman has the right to choose who she wants to be with, how she wants to live, and what boundaries she wants to set. It is not a game where persistence wins over patience. It is about understanding and accepting that love is only meaningful when it is mutual. If she chooses to leave, let her go with dignity. If she chooses to stay, cherish her for who she is, not for who you want her to be. Ultimately, respect is not just about words, it's about actions. It's in the way you listen when she speaks, in the way you step back when she needs space, and in the way you celebrate her choices instead of questioning them. A real man, a real hero, is not the one who imposes his will on a woman, but the one who stands beside her as she follows her own. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you're tempted to push, persuade, or pressure, pause, think, would you want someone to do the same to you? If the answer is no, then don't do it to her. Because in the end, respect is not about gender, it's about humanity, and that's something we all deserve. There's a saying that goes, the measure of a person is not how high they rise, but how they lift others up. When it comes to the way we treat women, this becomes even more important. No woman should ever be made to feel small, whether in her ambitions, her choices, her abilities, or even in everyday conversations. Yet, in subtle and obvious ways, society often does just that. Making a woman feel small doesn't always come in the form of direct insults or disrespect. Sometimes it's hidden in the little things, a dismissive comment, a condescending remark, an assumption that she is less capable simply because of her gender. It happens in workplaces when a woman voices an idea only to have it ignored until a man repeats it, and suddenly it's brilliant. It happens in families when a daughter's dreams are seen as secondary to a son's responsibilities. It happens in relationships when a woman is told she should tone down her success so as not to intimidate her partner. But why? Why should a woman dim her light just so someone else can shine? A woman's success, her intelligence, her strength, none of these take away from anyone else. If anything, they add to the world. Yet there are people who feel threatened when a woman steps forward with confidence. Instead of celebrating her achievements, they try to shrink her presence. You're too ambitious. You should be more ladylike. Don't be so outspoken. These are just different ways of telling a woman that she should make herself smaller, quieter, and less visible. But that's not how greatness is achieved. That's not how equality works. A woman has every right to take up space, to voice her opinions, to lead, and to demand the respect she deserves. She doesn't need to justify her success, nor does she need to apologize for wanting more. Whether she chooses to be a CEO, an artist, a homemaker, or an athlete, her role is just as significant as any man's. And no one has the right to make her feel otherwise. Think about the women in your life, your mother, sister, friend, colleague, or partner. How many times have they been told they need to be less of something, less bold, less opinionated, less independent? And yet, when a man exhibits the same qualities, he is praised for being strong, decisive, and driven. This double standard is not just unfair, it's harmful. It creates a world where women feel they must constantly prove their worth, even when they have already earned their place. Making a woman feel small isn't just about words, it's about actions too. It's when opportunities are denied to her simply because of gender. It's when she is not taken seriously in discussions. It's when she is made to feel that her worth is tied only to her appearance rather than her intellect or abilities. These things add up, and over time, they create an environment where women hesitate to dream big, speak up, or take risks. But let's flip the script. Imagine a world where women are encouraged, where their voices are heard, where they are given the same respect and recognition as anyone else. A world where a woman is not asked to step back, but is invited to lead. That's the kind of world we should be working toward. Men who truly respect women don't just avoid making them feel small, they actively uplift them. They acknowledge their contributions, they support their ambitions, and most importantly, they treat them as equals. There is no shame in learning from a woman, in following her lead, in celebrating her victories. A confident man knows that empowering a woman doesn't take away from his own strength, it adds to it. So the next time you hear someone downplaying a woman's abilities, challenge it. The next time you see a woman being silenced, encourage her to speak. The next time you feel the urge to dismiss a woman's ideas or achievements, ask yourself, why? Is it because she is truly unqualified? Or is it because we have been conditioned to believe that women should always play a supporting role? A woman is not small. She never was. The world just needs to stop trying to shrink her. And if you truly believe in equality, in respect, in love, then never, ever make a woman feel small. Equality is not just a word, it's a mindset, a way of life. Yet for centuries, society has struggled to accept that men and women are equals in every way that truly matters. There has always been an invisible scale, tipping unfairly, forcing women to work twice as hard to receive the same recognition, respect, and rights. But if we are to call ourselves evolved, progressive, and just, then we must understand one fundamental truth. A woman is not beneath you, behind you, or dependent on you. She stands beside you. She is your equal. And yet, too often, women are treated as secondary, as supporters in someone else's story rather than the heroes of their own. It happens in households where sons are raised to be leaders and daughters are taught to be caretakers. It happens in workplaces where men's decisions are trusted more than women's, even when they have the same qualifications. It happens in relationships where women are expected to compromise, adjust, and sacrifice more than their partners. But why? Why should equality be a privilege for some rather than a right for all? Respecting a woman as an equal means more than just saying the words. It means proving it through actions. It means recognizing that her opinions carry the same weight as yours, that her dreams are just as significant, that her voice deserves to be heard, not silenced. It means understanding that she doesn't need permission to be strong, to be successful, to make her own choices. Equality is not about comparison. It's not about who is stronger, who earns more, or who leads better. It's about the simple truth that men and women deserve the same level of dignity, opportunity, and freedom. A woman does not need to catch up to a man because she was never behind in the first place. She has always been capable, always been powerful. The world just needs to stop trying to limit her. In relationships, the idea of equality is often misunderstood. Love is not about control. It's not about one person making all the decisions while the other simply follows. A real relationship is a partnership where both individuals bring value, where both contribute, and where both have an equal say. A man who truly loves and respects a woman does not see her as someone to be controlled, but as someone to be cherished, supported, and understood. At work, equality means giving women the same opportunities, the same recognition, and the same respect as their male counterparts. It means acknowledging that leadership is not defined by gender, but by capability. A woman can be just as strong, just as intelligent, just as strategic as any man, if not more. The only difference is that she has to fight harder to prove it. And that is the real injustice. In society, treating a woman as an equal means breaking the outdated mindset that defines her by her relationship with others. A woman is not just someone's daughter, wife, or mother. She is an individual first. She has an identity, a purpose, a path of her own. Reducing her worth to the roles she plays in others' lives is not respect, it's limitation. Think of the greatest women in history. Scientists, warriors, leaders, artists, entrepreneurs. They were not great because someone allowed them to be. They were great because they refused to accept anything less than equality. But the burden should not fall on women alone to demand fairness. It is the responsibility of men, of society as a whole, to ensure that equality is not something women have to fight for. It should be a given. So the next time you interact with a woman, whether in the workplace, in your home, or in a relationship, ask yourself, are you treating her as an equal? Are you giving her the same respect you expect for yourself? Are you listening when she speaks, or are you just waiting for your turn to talk? Are you supporting her success, or are you holding her back out of insecurity? A man's strength is not measured by how much he can control a woman. It is measured by how much he can respect, support, and uplift her. True equality is not just about fairness. It's about humanity. And if you truly want to be a better person, a better partner, a better human being, never forget that she is your equal.